You are working yourself to death, and your bank account still looks the same. That is not bad luck. That is a broken system. And the longer you ignore it, the wider the gap gets between where you are and where you should be. Think about this. The wealthiest people you admire do not work more hours than you. Most of them work fewer. The difference is not effort. It is architecture. They built structures that generate wealth whether they show up or not. You already know this deep down. You are not here because you are lazy. You are here because you are tired of working hard with nothing to show for it. And if you do not fix this now, another year passes with the same results. The next 20 minutes could change the way you think about money forever. Wealth follows structure, not effort, because systems compound results, while hard work alone hits an income ceiling. The wealthiest individuals build financial architectures, income systems, investment frameworks, and automated processes that generate returns independent of their daily labor. Mastering wealth structure means shifting from trading time for money to building machines that produce money, whether you are sleeping, traveling, or living your life. Before we dive deeper, hit like and subscribe so you never miss our videos, and share this with someone who needs to see it. The effort trap. Here is the lie you were sold since childhood. Work hard and you will be successful. Show up early, stay late, outgrind everyone around you, and the money will follow. Sounds inspiring, sounds noble. And it is completely incomplete. Look at the people around you. Your parents probably worked harder than most millionaires ever will. Your neighbors wake up before dawn and collapse into bed exhausted. The hardest working people you know are rarely the wealthiest. That is not a coincidence. That is evidence. Effort without structure is like running on a treadmill. You are sweating, you are exhausted, you feel like you are making progress, but you have not moved an inch. You end the year in the same financial position you started, maybe worse. If you are serious about building the kind of structure that creates real, lasting wealth, check out the VYBO Wealth Blueprint. It is the complete framework for shifting from effort-based income to structure-based wealth. The link is in the description. Here is the brutal truth. Hard work is the price of entry. It is not the thing that makes you wealthy. It is what you do with that work, how you channel it, where you direct it, what systems you build around it. That determines whether you stay stuck or break through. The average person trades 1 hour of labor for 1 unit of pay. That is a linear equation. And linear equations have a ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day. You cannot outwork mathematics. No amount of hustle changes that formula. Consider this. A taxi driver works 12 hours a day, fighting traffic, burning fuel, wearing down their body. They earn a fixed amount per ride. 20 years later, they are still driving the same hours for roughly the same money adjusted for inflation. Now, consider the person who built a ride-sharing platform. They wrote code once, they designed a system once, and that system now processes millions of rides a day, generating wealth while they are asleep on a beach somewhere. One person worked harder, the other built smarter. Guess which one is wealthy? But here is where it gets interesting. The wealthy do not play the linear game. They play the structural game. And the rules are completely different. Wealth structure means building systems where your input creates disproportionate output. 1 hour of strategic work produces 10 hours of results. $1 invested generates $5 in return. One decision today pays you for the next 20 years. Think of it like this. 2 people start businesses on the same day. Person 1 works 18 hours a day, does everything themselves, answers every email, fulfills every order, handles every customer complaint. They are exhausted but proud of their work ethic. Person 2 works 8 hours a day, but they spend those hours building systems, automated fulfillment, delegation frameworks, marketing funnels that run while they sleep, hiring processes that bring in people who multiply their efforts. Fast forward 5 years. Person 1 is burned out, still doing everything alone, making the same money they made in year 2. Person 2 has tripled their revenue, works fewer hours, and their business runs without them for weeks at a time. Same starting point, same opportunity, completely different structure, completely different outcome. Ask yourself honestly which person you are right now, because if you are still doing everything yourself, still trading every hour for every dollar, you are person 1. And person 1 does not build wealth. Person 1 builds a job they can never leave. The 3 pillars of wealth structure. Now let me break down exactly what wealth structure looks like in practice. There are 3 pillars, and most people are missing at least 2 of them. Want to know why some people seem to attract money effortlessly while you are grinding for every cent? It comes down to these 3 things. Pillar 1, income architecture. This is how your money flows in. Most people have a single income stream, their salary. That is not architecture. That is a single point of failure. One layoff, one recession, one bad quarter, and your entire financial life collapses. Wealth structure means building multiple income channels that feed into your financial system. Side businesses, investments that pay dividends, digital assets that generate revenue, royalties, licensing, rental income. Each stream is a beam in your financial building. The more beams, the stronger the structure. The harder it is for anything to knock you down. Pillar 2, automation systems. Every wealthy person you admire has built systems that work without their constant attention. Their investments compound automatically. Their businesses have processes that run on autopilot. Their money moves into the right accounts, the right funds, the right opportunities, without them sitting at a desk making it happen. You need to stop being the engine of your own wealth and start being the architect. Engines break down. Engines get tired. Engines have a shelf life. Architects build things that outlast them. Think about a vending machine. Nobody stands next to a vending machine all day feeding coins in. You set it up, stock it, place it in the right location, and it generates money whether you are there or not. That is a structure. Now imagine you had 50 of them. That is wealth architecture. That is the difference between working in your wealth and working on your wealth. Pillar 3, protection frameworks. This is the pillar almost nobody talks about. Building wealth means nothing if you cannot keep it. Tax strategy, asset protection, insurance, estate planning, legal structures that shield what you have built from being eroded by the same system that made it hard to build in the first place. The wealthy do not just make more money, they keep more of what they make, and they do that through deliberate, strategic frameworks. Not by accident, not by hoping for the best, by designing their financial life the way an engineer designs a bridge. Every piece has a purpose. Every structure bears a load. Let us take a step back. We have covered the effort trap and why hard work alone keeps you stuck in the same cycle year after year. We have broken down the 3 pillars of wealth structure: income architecture, automation systems, and protection frameworks. Now here's where this gets real for you. Theory is done. Let us talk about exactly what you need to do starting this week to build your own wealth structure from scratch, because knowing this information changes nothing if you do not act on it. Building your wealth structure. Remember, every month you spend grinding without structure is another month the gap widens. People who understand this are building systems right now. They're automating right now. They're compounding right now. And you are still being busy. Busy is not the same as productive. Busy is the enemy of wealthy. Step 1, audit your current income. Write down every single source of money coming into your life. If you have one source, you do not have a structure. You have a lifeline, and lifelines can be cut. Your first move is creating a second income stream within the next 90 days. Not a second job, a second system. Something that generates revenue with decreasing effort over time. Step 2, identify your highest value activities. Out of everything you do in a week, only about 20% actually moves the needle on your wealth. The rest is maintenance, busy work, tasks that make you feel productive but produce 0 results. Find those high-value activities and ruthlessly eliminate or delegate everything else. Here's something that sounds backwards but is absolutely true. The path to making more money starts with doing less, not less work. Less of the wrong work, When you free up time from low-value tasks, you create space to build the systems that actually compound your wealth. Step 3, build your first automation. Pick one thing you do repeatedly, whether it is in your business, your investing, or your financial management, and systematize it. Create a process. Document the steps. Then find a way to make it run without you. Software, delegation, outsourcing, whatever it takes to remove yourself from the equation. The first automation is always the hardest. But once you see it working, once you watch money or results flow in while you were doing something else entirely, your brain shifts. You stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an architect. Step 4, reinvest your freed time into the next system. This is where most people stall. They build one automation and then go back to grinding. Wrong. The time you just freed up is not vacation time, it is construction time. Use it to build the next income stream, the next automation, the next layer of your wealth structure. This is how compounding works in practice. Each system frees up time and capital. That freed time and capital builds the next system, and the cycle accelerates. And that mental shift from employee to architect is worth more than any single paycheck you will ever receive, because employees build someone else's structure. Architects build their own. The compound effect of structure. Here is what most people completely miss about structure. It compounds. Effort does not compound. If you work 10 hours today, you get 10 hours of output. Tomorrow you start from zero again. Your effort resets every single morning. But structure compounds. The system you build today works tomorrow, and the next day, and the next month, and the next year. Each new system you add multiplies the output of every system that came before it. That is exponential growth. And exponential growth is how ordinary people build extraordinary wealth. Picture two snowballs at the top of a hill. One you push by hand, step by step, inch by inch. You are exhausted. It grows slowly because it only moves when you push it. That is effort. The other snowball you set on a track. You angle the slope. You clear the path. Then you give it one push, and gravity does the rest. It rolls faster, picks up more snow, grows exponentially. You are standing at the top, watching it build momentum on its own. That is structure. 5 years from now, the hand-pushed snowball is the size of a basketball. The structured snowball is the size of a house. Same snow, same hill, different approach, radically different results. So which snowball are you building right now? Because the answer to that question determines everything about your financial future. The people who understand this do not chase money. They build systems that attract it. They do not work for income. They architect income streams that flow whether they are present or not. This is not about being lazy. This is about being intelligent with your effort. It is about respecting your own time enough to make sure every hour you invest creates lasting returns, not just a paycheck that disappears by the end of the month. Let me leave you with this. 10 years from now, you will not remember how many hours you worked this week. You will not remember the late nights or the early mornings or the extra shifts you picked up. But you will absolutely remember whether you built something that lasts. Whether you created a system that feeds your family when you cannot. Whether you designed a life where money works for you instead of the other way around. That is what structure gives you, not just wealth, freedom. You came into this knowing something was broken. Now you see exactly what it is. You were pouring effort into a system that was never designed to make you wealthy. Effort is the fuel. Structure is the engine. Without the engine, all that fuel just burns. You now understand the 3 pillars: income architecture, automation systems, and protection frameworks. You know the 4 steps to start building them this week. The question is no longer whether you know what to do. It is whether you will do it. Stop grinding without direction. Start building with intention. Wealth follows structure.